Doing two WNBA player props here on PrizePicks for Friday, August 1st. Before we get started, you guys take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord. $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. Again, it's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Other cappers in there as well. Currently doing a promo right now for first-time members of the Discord. 20% off your first month using promo code TUFF. Comes out to like $6 for the full first 30 days with the link in the description below. Also, follow me on Twitter at TuffPicks, TUFFPICKS on Twitter, verified Twitter account. I've been posting daily plays of the day over on there as well. But yeah, let's not waste any time, you guys. Want to get this video out as soon as possible. Friday, August 1st, brand new month, looking to cash on some plays. Hit that subscribe button, you guys, and drop a like on this video if you are tailing these two. First one here, both fantasy scores, WNBA. I'm looking at Rachel Banham, over 17 fantasy score. I think this is a buy low kind of spot, but again, these lines are... I don't know why these lines are a little bit more inflated for her in this plus matchup without Angel Reese. So 30.7, 36.1 fantasy over her last two games. We look at this matchup here. Golden State versus Chicago. This is a home game. Golden State played yesterday, so they're coming off a back-to-back. Chicago obviously not a great team, but in Golden State's a better team, I'd say. But they're coming off the back-to-back in that pretty competitive game that we saw last night between them and the Washington Mystics. So I think this game should be ultra competitive, and it's a great spot for Rachel Banham, who this season, if you look at the hit rate on this line, she's over this line in 7 of her last 10 games, averaging 21.6 fantasy, has really picked it up in over her last 2. And we look at over the course of the season, obviously her minutes have really fluctuated, more specifically over the last 20. She's over in 10 of her last 20. But like I said, the last 10 games, which she's kind of gotten starter minutes without Ariel Atkins, which is key here. Ariel Atkins is going to be out for this one. Van Lith is game time decision, and I also believe Angel Reese is out. So 2 of these higher usage players are going to be out for this one, and these minutes for Rachel Banham have been very, very strong as of late. 36 and 37 over her last 2, and then obviously has played 30 plus minutes in multiple games this season. If we kind of just use a couple of filters here, again, this is Outlier, by the way. Link in the description below can get you a 7-day free trial on Outlier. If we look at this just when she plays like 28 plus minutes this season, which is probably the floor for this line, she's over this line in 5 of 7, averaging 23.06. If we also reset this in games without Ariel Atkins, which I think is pretty key here, she's over in 2 of 5, but more specifically these last two, 30.7 and 36.1. She's been ultra aggressive, right? With the field goal attempts, 15 and 14. I see no reason for that to continue here tonight, as these kind of has resulted in some pretty competitive games for Chicago with her playing that way. And then it's a great matchup. It's a really good matchup. We look here, Rachel Banham at home, averages slightly more points, shoots the ball a little bit better from 3. Again, points up a little across the board. She averages 17.8 fantasy points at home compared to 15.8 at home on the road, this season. So let's filter this to at home. At home with just 25 minutes. Let's just see the hit rate on this line. Yeah, 4 of 6, averaging 20.92. But like I said, a really good matchup because Golden State averages or allows the most 3-point attempts to opponents in the WNBA. They allow the fewest points in the paint, but the most 3-point attempts in the WNBA. And Rachel Banham is a shooter, right? We're talking about these 3-point volume, 8, 11, and 8. I think there's just a ton of upside for her to take a ton of 3-point attempts. I think the volume is going to be there, and we're talking about a team that just gives up a ton of 3-point volume, right? The most in the WNBA since July 1st to opponents. So I think it's a good spot. We look at other like kind of guards, right, versus Golden State. Just, yesterday, Sonia Citron had 30, Jordan Canada 37.4. Like the hit rate on this 17 fantasy score line is elite, honestly, when you're talking about the type of players and just the minutes she's going to see. Like if she for some reason plays, or if she does, I'm expecting her to in a competitive game, she's going to play 32 plus minutes in this one. I think there's a good chance she does. Like just game she's played 30 plus minutes, I mean, she's over in 5 of 6, averaging 24.2 fantasy points in a plus matchup. So Rachel Banham, the first play. The second play here I'm looking at is going to be Brianna Jones, over 25.5. I like this spot a lot here too because Brittany Griner is going to be looking like she's not going to play, right? Not expected to play Friday, Brittany Griner. So really just leaving Brianna Jones for that, I think just minutes up a little bit, volume obviously up in the paint, but really no other big in this Atlanta lineup. And I also was expecting Atlanta to play small either way, just because that's kind of how Phoenix plays. They play a little bit smaller. But the hit rate on this line is elite as well. I mean, we talk about Brianna Jones this season at home. She's over in 10 of 12 games, averaging 32.2 fantasy points at home this season. 32.2 over in 10 of 12. This season actually last 5 games versus Phoenix, which again, teams change year to year, but she had 30.2 fantasy points just about a week ago against Phoenix, and in that game, let's see how she did actually. In that game against Phoenix, 8, 6, 4, 3 blocks, and 0 turnovers. She only took 7 shots and still finished with 30.2 fantasy points, which again kind of proves that upside for Brianna Jones in this one. Also, she just kind of plays a lot better at home. I mean, this season she's averaging 29.5 fantasy points at home compared to 23.2 on the road, which again gives us even more upside here on that one. And then obviously, Phoenix has been allowing, the second most total rebounds to forwards over since July 1st, second most total rebounds, as well as the second most total points to the forward position. We look at other like bigs, which Brianna Jones I would consider a big. Brianna Stewart, where'd it go? Brianna Jones fantasy score, again outlier, you guys. Elite research betting tool. Coming back to it though. Shakira Austin, that 32.1, Jonquel Jones, 39.7, Brittany Griner, 26.1 in that same game. Asia Wilson, 61.1, Aaliyah Boston, 35.9, Natasha Howard, Brianna Stewart, Brianna Jones here at 30.2. I just think there's a ton of upside for Brianna Jones in this one if this game does remain competitive, which I'm expecting it to. Atlanta playing at home, I think they are a little bit better at home, or maybe quite a bit better at home. Nonetheless, it's a great buy low spot for Brianna Jones. This hit rate is just too elite here for her this season at home over in 10 of 12 games, averaging 32.2 fantasy. So 2 player props for this video, 2 WNBA props, fantasy scores. Again, both these games start a little bit, or are the earlier games on the slate. It's such a weird scheduling for the WNBA. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 games that all start at 4:30, and then 1 game that starts at 10. Interesting. You think they would be able to stagger these so people could tune in a little bit more? I don't know, but nonetheless, 2 player props. You guys please drop a like. You guys hit the subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.